of our children in school without even parental consent or knowledge.
Kamala even supports letting biological men compete against our girls in their sports. Kamala is for they, them. President Trump is for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
4 years of Donald Trump, its effect on the community, and particularly the most vulnerable, I mean, the scale of a catastrophe like this takes me back to the AIDS epidemic.
I don't think that I would be here today for this interview if I wasn't receiving the care that I do receive today. Without the care, I was really deeply depressed, lost, and unable to live a regular life. I think that that's what we all want, is to be able to access care that will affirm our gender, allow us to flourish into who we are, and live lives that are loved and cared for.
My response to Trump, if he's watching, we're not afraid of you. And we will become stronger when you're gone.
It is disheartening to know that people have to move out of their homes and travel so many miles and have to spend so much time to just receive some care.
Is like in traditional therapy, even group or one-on-one. Right. You're a part of that?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Why a kid in New Mexico can get access to gender-affirming care and that same child in South Carolina not? To me, it's negligence. It creates disparities that will follow that child through their life. It was early on in my childhood, had I realized I knew I was different. A lack of coverage for services as important as these, for children as young as they are, has deadly consequences. And in group, there's usually a facilitator that says, okay, now it's your turn to talk. Or without the care I have now, I would go far as to say, I think I might be in the percentage of people who don't make it to the end of Trump's presidency. It's not therapy. I'll start by saying it's not therapy. Right. Republicans watching need to know investing in trans kids is just as important as investing in their own kids. Because we are the next generation who's going to lead this country. And we have bright ideas, strong futures. We have grit and wisdom that I think our country could benefit from. And so when I signed up to be a part of this process, I told my therapist about it. My plan for the next 4 years is to get very firm and strategic on what the next step forward for us is. How will trans people become more resilient, smarter, stronger through Trump?
Yeah, when a president like that, or a president-to-be, speaks about taking away some of our healthcare rights, it is just disheartening. And I think it's just a moment to reflect on how important it is to have community, to be surrounded by community, to invest our time in coming together, loving one another, and really having a buy-in in the community. I'm a trans person, and this is, who I am. Ideally, we would want to move to a place where the federal government is actually supporting trans people and respecting and giving people's dignity and supporting people's health care. We all have power, and we all need to continue to support one another. We need to continue to build community with one another, to love and support one another, because without that, there's a sense of isolation, and we want to really continue to be a state or a country that is about acceptance, love, care, and really allowing folks to live full and beautiful lives.
The question is, who's best to make the decision? It's the individual that's best to make the decision about their access and their doctor or whomever they're trying to access support from. I don't necessarily know that the federal government making that decision is a good idea, but I certainly don't think that we should have differences between the states. I think each person should have the ability to access the support, the care, the resources that they need in order to live like all of us. Well, of course, the center is known for providing access to a whole range of support. I think it's scary, right? It's scary to think about, depending on where you live, your ability to access what every other human being has the ability to access can be different and unfair, right? And a lot of people are coming from other states to the center and to New York because they feel like if I'm gonna be anywhere and the decision's gonna be in a state, it's better to be in New York, perhaps, than it is in another state. That's not fair for people to have to leave their homes and everything that they know, right?